Once upon a time in a land not so far away, industrial growth and westward expansion are hot, but healthcare is cool. Syrups and sarsaparilla, cocaine drops, snake oil salesmen and charlatans in America. Pink pills for pale skin, loggers are logging. Paid physicians provide care for workers. Once upon a time, transportation was transformed on land, sea, and in the skies. Albert says E equals MC squared. Dynamite gets a Nobel. Red Sox hit a grand slam. San Francisco shakes. And the world goes to war. Roosevelt is elected. He endorses social insurance to protect low-income workers making less than $1,200 per year. Sick pay at 2/3 of wages. Medical coverage for physician, hospital, and nursing care. Maternity benefits for working women and workers' wives. A $50 benefit for burial expenses. Cost is estimated at 4% of wages, the bulk of that being covered by employers and high-wage earners through increased taxes. Once upon a time, radio shows, automobile, racial tensions become real. Women's suffrage, 19th Amendment, Great Migration, income taxation, labor reform, prohibition, World War I, shell shock condition, Spanish flu pandemic kills 675,000 people in the United States and an estimated 50 million people worldwide. The pandemic highlighted the need for better public health infrastructure and led to the formation of the U.S. Public Health Service, launching awareness campaigns about hygiene, disease prevention, and nutrition. Once upon a time, during the Roaring '20s, Charlie Chaplin was silent. Prohibition gave rise to bootleggers like Al Capone, and illegal speakeasies gave way for Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington to jazz it up, while flappers in their short bobs did the Charleston, celebrating their ability to vote. Dallas-based Baylor University Hospital worked with local schools to provide health care to teachers for a monthly fee of $6, forming the start of Blue Cross health insurance plans. Federal Reserve policy failures. Inflation soars. High interest rates discourage borrowing and investment, leading to shattered confidence in the U.S. economy. Bank failures and a stock market crash is depressing. Promises of a new deal with government expansion of public housing, social welfare, and national health insurance gets FDR elected. Physicians start to organize the first Blue Shield plans to cover the costs of physician care. Once upon a time, faces were carved into stone as the world was at odds again. Manhattan was more than a city. Rosie the River worked in factories and in Victory Gardens. The Shadow knows how to cloud men's minds. A single Texas Ranger on a trusty horse and his Kimosabe fight for justice in the Old West. President Truman, with an attitude of Robin Hood, attempts to impose a fair deal with provisions for universal comprehensive health insurance, meant to move toward a system of cradle-to-grave social insurance. It's shot down by most Americans coming out of World War II with the fear of socialism, a preface to communism. Once upon a time, post-war prosperity, cultural change, and technological innovation spawned the suburban boom as seen on TV with Lucy and the Bee, style stemming from DR's new look at Barbie dressing in poodle skirts and bobby socks. Convertibles blaring the sounds of Elvis, Chuck Buddy, and Little Richard Cruz from the Hamburglar to the drive-in theater. Between 1940 and 1960, the total number of Americans enrolled in health insurance plans grew from 20.5 million to 142.3 million. And by the end of the 1950s, 3/4 of Americans had some form of health coverage. Once upon a time, the space race heated up as JFK wanted men walking on the moon. Dr. King had a dream.
I have a dream.
Fab Four arrived in America. Hippies flooded Woodstock to listen to Dylan, Hendrix, and Joplin. Prior to 1965, only half of seniors had health care coverage, but in July of that year, President Lyndon B. Johnson laid the groundwork for what we now know as Medicare and Medicaid by signing the Social Security Act. As a result, public health insurance was available to the poor and the elderly.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Once upon a time, peace and love gave way to political scandals, oil embargoes, anti-war protests, and economic stagflation brought on by a peanut farmer. But rising through the ashes are flashy disco balls, punk rock, lightsabers, a ginormous shark, and personal computers. President Carter prioritizes healthcare cost containment over expanding coverage, but national health reform efforts were completely stalled in the face of an economic recession and uncontrollable healthcare costs. Once upon a time, extraterrestrial riding bike fills the sky. Indiana Jones seeks the path while McFly goes back to the future. Moonwalk, Material Girl, leg warmers, big hairstyles, hip-hop, basketball. Reaganomics aim to reduce inflation and stimulate growth through tax cuts, deregulation, and reducing government spending, leading to a boom in the economy. The Bedtime for Bonzo actor implemented what we know as COBRA in 1986, allowing employees to stay on their former employer's plan. Once upon a time, Tupac, Nirvana, and Eddie Vedder. Bill Clinton didn't inhale, and the sweater. Global warming. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, World Wide Web, Y2K, and the dot-comer. In 1993, President Clinton proposed the Health Security Act, a managed competition approach calling for universal coverage, employer and individual mandates, competition between insurers, with government regulation to control costs. Harry and Louise are worried about the lack of individual choice and seemingly endless bureaucratic complications. Balanced Budget Act includes many changes in provider payments to slow the growth in Medicare spending. It establishes the Medicare Plus Choice Program, a new structure for Medicare HMOs and other private plans offered to beneficiaries. Despite these advances, surveys estimate 42.4 million, or 15.7% of the population, are uninsured in the United States. Once upon a time, Google, Facebook, social media, internet marketing and Wikipedia, reality TV, Survivor, iPhone, Harry Potter, Al Gore, It's Getting Hotter, War on Terror, Venus and Serena, the Great Recession, Hurricane Katrina. Barack Obama is elected as the 44th President of the United States of America on the promise of free health care for every American and addressing the economic crisis. He goes on a spending spree and increases the national debt trillions of dollars by giving $700 billion to bail out Wall Street, banks, and the automobile industry, an additional $787 billion to stimulate the economy, and sets aside $634 billion for healthcare reform. Once upon a time, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, viral videos is the jam. Adele, Bruno Mars, and Taylor Swift, award winners of the Gram. Me Too, Black Lives Matter, social movements on the rise, political polarization and populism. Free healthcare for all is lies. Obama's second term as president focused on progressive policies, including environmental initiatives like the Paris Climate Agreement and the DACA program for undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S., but primarily is known for signing the Affordable Care Act, or most commonly referred to as Obamacare, which he promised in his campaigns would be free for all. In the end, it aimed to make healthcare more affordable, expanding insurance coverage and mandating protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Employers are not mandated to provide health benefits. However, large businesses whose employees receive insurance subsidies will pay penalties. Small businesses will be able to access more plans through a separate exchange. Ultimately, Obamacare ended up quadrupling the price of health insurance for businesses, middle-class and upper-class Americans. Coverage increased across all racial and ethnic groups, with the largest increases among Hispanic, Black, Asian, and Native American people, as well as millions of illegal aliens. Even though failure to possess health insurance would carry hefty penalties and subsequent garnishments of tax refunds, the uninsured rate fell from 15.7% to 23.9%, and the proportion of people covered by Medicaid increased to 20%. In response to failures of the previous administration with increases in inflation, high unemployment rates, outrageous taxation, out-of-control influx of illegal border crossings, an opioid epidemic, fentanyl overdoses, and a broken healthcare system, Americans were looking for serious change in leadership. President Trump eliminated the individual mandate section of the Affordable Care Act, removing monetary penalties for not having health insurance. During his presidency, President Trump added pooled health plans, short-term limited duration plans, and new Medicare Advantage plans to the marketplace, lowered Medicare Advantage premiums, and improved access to health savings accounts. He also took action to end surprise medical billing and increase price transparency. The results were that prescription costs and health insurance premiums started to come down, with the percentage of people with health insurance increasing to 92.1%. Unfortunately, in 2019, the global COVID-19 pandemic had a profound impact on public health, leading to widespread illness, death, and disruption of daily life as businesses and schools closed and remote work surged. Once upon a time, here's the story of a lady named Jamie who was raising 3 kids on her own. 2 girls with lots of laughter and a little boy, keeping busy but sometimes felt alone. Here's a story of a guy named Perry with 2 children of his own by his side. One was a boy, the other a girl, and his gym kept him filled up with pride. Till the one day when Jamie met Perry at the gym where she trained on a whim, and they knew that their lives would come together. They'd become one family at the gym. That's the way they became the Perry Bunch. Then one day, Planet Fitness came to town, built their gyms close by, shut Perry's down. With his dream now lost, he felt unsure, wondering what his future had in store. But a guy named Derek came along. He'd been working out with Perry all along. He ran a business in health insurance and offered Perry a chance, a new endurance. Now Perry's heart was set on a new mission, changing healthcare, a brand new vision, helping people get the coverage they deserve. With Jamie by his side, a family to serve. That's the way they became the Perry Bunch. So what's with the name? The Healthy Insurance Dude? Yes, we know, it's a goofy name. But hey, it's catchy. What started as a simple hashtag completely took off, and now it's a name I proudly live up to. Plus, it keeps me moving and it makes my wife happy. And yes, I know cigars aren't the healthiest habit. I never claim to be perfect. But you're not here for the name. You're here because of our reputation and reviews for a better plan, to save your business or family money, and to receive the respect you deserve. For us, our clients are everything. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do. They're what drives our business, supports our families, and brings us joy every day. That's why providing exceptional customer service is our true passion. We know we're not perfect, but we strive to be. Our mission is simple. We do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it, and we do it with a smile. How have we accomplished what everyone else can? Well, welcome to a world where quality and affordable insurance is no longer a distant hope, but a tangible reality. At our platform, you'll uncover accessible PPO health insurance plans alongside annuities, Medicare, and life insurance options. Our approach is direct. We harness the collective power of a vast association comprising over 1.7 million small business owners, individuals, 1099 contractors, and anyone in search of equitable health insurance solutions and retirement programs. Operated within established governmental frameworks, our strategy is both legally sound and refreshingly simple. Furthermore, many of our plans offer guaranteed renewal from birth through retirement, eliminating the need for constant searches for new insurance options. Trust us on your journey towards hassle-free and affordable health, life, and retirement coverage. From its humble beginnings to the present day, the history of health insurance in America is a testament to the ongoing effort to provide comprehensive healthcare coverage for all. Join us as we continue to navigate the future of healthcare and allow us to help you and your family or your business wade through this poop show we call healthcare in America.